Welcome to this ASMR for a scary story. I will whisper one that really actually happened. So sit back and relax. It was an ordinary day, really, like so many others. Possibly it was just an evil chance that the following events were to occur on an especially unfavorable day. Most Friday the 13th come and go. They pass like just any other day, any Friday, any 13th. None is different or special, especially not in the more innocent time of 1973. On this specific Friday the 13th, a monster was created. A crime with no seeming motivation. As of now, assessed as maybe the most horrified crime the nation had ever seen. The man, sometime later, would come to be known by a couple of names. The real Friday the 13th killer, or the monster of Worcester. Whichever name sounded more horrendous would be used. But before all that, the man used to work under the more conspicuous moniker of David McGreevy. In 1973, David, he was just 20 years of age. Things were not going unreasonably well. He had persevered through a line of occupational mishaps, broken off engagement, and found that he was no longer welcome to live with his folks. He needed support, and it was his partner Clive that acted on it. Clive invited McGreevy to live with his family, which fused his strongly pregnant mate Elsie and their two distinct adolescents, Paul and Dawn. Paul being a 3-year-old and Dawn a 1-year-old. McGreevy paid the step-by-step rent and to a great extent pre-arranged Sunday cooked dinners and appreciated the children, occasionally playing with them. All things considered, he acted like a father and was even considered charming. He connected with discussions about young person discipline. He gave the impression of being a bright arrangement that worked out for everyone. Elsie, after a short time, delivered her third child, Samantha, and immediately after returned to the workforce. The two couples were working and acquiring cash, and McGreevy, the prerequisite to perform standard watching out for extended period. On this Friday the 13th, in 1973, McGreevy had been drinking strongly that evening at a close-by bar, and had promptly got down 5, 6, 7 pints of ale, and had even gotten himself later with a minor eject. Clive accumulated him from the bar and drove him back home. Just to sit while he went to get his better half from work. Now, between the time span of 10:15 p.m. and 11:15 p.m., McGreevy, he got disturbed and annoyed by the consistent crying of one of the children, and something about the youngster's steady crying made McGreevy snap. The person who appreciated killing children vanished, like he never existed, and in his place arose the monster of Worcester. A new person. The old one seemed gone. Clive and Elsie got back late that evening, just to find that police were by then present on the scene. No sign of McGreevy. They were taken to the close by the police base camp, and with respect were told the fate of their children. Every one of the 3 children met their end in 3 exceptional ways. The 9-month-old Samantha had her skull broken. The 4-year-old Paul stifled with wire, and the 2-year-old had her throat cut. The children would not live to grow up, create new memories, build new relationships, build friendships. Their lives ended that night. Like the killings alone had not been heartbreaking enough, what was to follow was truly puzzling. McGreevy polluted the bodies. He used a pickaxe to harm the bodies. And after that, he would pierce the children on the molded iron fence of a neighbor's home. It was an exhibit which reverberated around the country, and the neighborhood with the sounding name of Rainbow Hill, Worcester, would never return. McGreevy went out, and the police found him walking the streets in the early hours of the next morning. His first denials didn't continue for long, and he began resolving questions with, "It was me." Anyway, it wasn't me. all that I could hear was kids, those kids. The real Friday the 13th killer would continue to be sentenced to different life terms with a confinement of 20 years and expected to contribute a large part of their time and energy in a remedial office in protective power. The soonest he would be able to be released was 1993. Reiterated parole requests had been turned down, yet following 46 years in power, the grievous conveyance was finally embraced and delivered about June 2019. According to the reports, he's a much changed man, and as of now recognizes commitment with respect to all he has done. In light of everything, the states of his conveyance mean he will be subject to dismissal zones for the rest of his life. And this circles back to Friday the 13th, sure that he will stand apart perpetually for all of some unsatisfactory reasons. Friday the 13th has a new meaning in the history of this small town. Are the movies somewhat similar? Are they based on this story? The story that actually happened? Do they seem similar? Somewhat yes. Somehow no. Did the date have anything to do with it? No. He was just turned by a series of events. Anyway, I will leave you thinking about that. And I wish you a good night.